Solid clap.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for here joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open a beer. Chris McGraw on the ones and the twos, looking so happy.
I am. I'm thrilled.
Pat Lynch looking a little vest, waiting for the flood. And I am your host of the mostest, Peter McGraw. Ladies and gentlemen, how good does it feel not to have to worry about nothing? Having a nice, crisp Coors Light, enjoying a Saturday, not working.
That's nice not being in the basement. You know, when you get to go outside and actually see daylight, I mean, it's a shock.
I don't know. Did we have any Coors Light? Oh, yeah, we did at Murphy's last night. But
yes, we did.
besides, I had one Coors Light last night. Tasting pretty all right, Pat Lynch. Pretty all right.
We had a few more than that.
Yeah, just
And a couple Coors banquets. Pat had something called the Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club.
That was okay.
Yeah? I heard you guys getting into it last night.
The old-fashioned wasn't that great.
We'll jump right into it. A little Cubs game. One of the best Cubs games ever. If you have an opportunity, go to MLB's Instagram, and they do the Cubs percentage of win. Like, what's
Win
their
percentage.
win percentage. And it goes from the
That was
seventh.
probability, right?
Yeah, 98. It went from 98% in the seventh inning when we were up 7-1 to 2% in the ninth inning. And, yeah, baby. Or the eighth inning, right? Because they came back in the eighth.
And then they won.
And,
Spoiler alert.
It was, oh, man. That was one hell of a game. The most runs I think we've ever seen. And the first one me and Chris have seen at a Cubs game in.
That's not true. We saw the one Pirates game where they scored like 20 runs.
Yeah, we did see that game. After. And I think that was after tax season 2. Franklin met us out. It was like a balmy, like, April, like, day.
Was that that wasn't last
No,
year.
that was
2
like
years ago.
2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
They scored 21 runs. Like, Franklin's like, if they score 20 runs, I'm buying shots. And, of course, they scored like 21 or 22.
It was the nicest weather we've ever had for a game after tax season. Usually it is. I have pictures from last year. It was so miserable, and this year was. Well, I mean, it was. You couldn't have asked for better weather.
70 degrees.
Not, yeah.
And then Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never been to Chicago, the weather we get in 1 week, we can go from snow, rain, 80 degrees.
1 week. It's only one day you can do this.
Yeah, seriously. Franklin,
Probably the same day.
snowboarding Frank in Nebraska. In the morning, had probably maybe an inch, 2 inches of
It
snow.
looked like an inch and a half to 2 inches of snow out there
And
in
then
Nebraska.
within 5 hours of that, it was all melted and gone. How awful would that be?
That's pretty wild.
That's why I'm never. I mean, but then you think about what other states you could move to, and Texas is having some really weird, awful weather too lately.
Well, it's also really hot there in the summer. Like,
It's
really
true.
hot, like oppressively hot.
And Arizona's the same thing.
I would like to see Pat in Texas or like Arizona in like the middle of summer where it's oppressively hot. I think you just melt away.
Dude, I was in hot yoga.
Sweat so much.
I was in hot yoga.
This is
this
not good
morning,
luck for me, Chris.
And there was a guy next.
And I can't
two,
go shirtless.
Two guys. There's a guy 2 like mats over, and it was so hot in this class. The guy literally, I looked because I was with 10 minutes left, I was dead. Like I was just laying on the mat praying. Like, just end, lady. Stop talking. Stop. We don't need to do any more. I'm gonna die if you don't end this class. I looked over to the guy and he was done too. He'd wringed his shirt out. Holy sweet mother of God! I don't know that the body could handle as much weight as he just wringed out of his shirt.
I did hot yoga once, and it was a lot of water on my mat.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe went the one time, right? And he like
He was slipping and sliding, right?
Yeah, he had to get. Sarah had to give him like her spare shirt because he ran through his 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was a lot of water on my mat.
It was so difficult. I don't remember it ever being as bad as it was today. Not fun. But it also was good. You know, feels good to get all that detox going. Dude, feeling so much better. It was weird. It's so crazy. I mean, this time last week we're working, 16-hour days, and you're like during the day you're not really that tired. I got home after me and Chris went for a run. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I just wanted to sleep. All I wanted to do was go to bed. Right back to taking a nap. But this time last week we'd have been working until fucking 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo! And thank God we took out
You've been on your 3rd caffeine drink of the day.
Oh, oof. And thank God we took out the birthday boy last week because, motherfucker, if you can't tell, audience, we're missing another host. This guy. That's all right.
This fucking guy.
And then
we're talking about you, Joe.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. I hope you listen to this right now.
Yeah. We miss you.
Yes, of course. And then for some reason, I'm hoping the camera's going to work. I'm nervous because Last week, for whatever reason, the stupid ass thing, the last 10 minutes of it didn't work. So it just cuts off and it keeps going.
Oh, it's still voice is moving, but it's just like.
No. There's just a black screen. So go check out episode 236. Boys, we're almost at 240. Looking.
250 Pepsi.
It's Chris's mind here.
How's Pepsi?
I thought it was Pepsi for a second. I'm like 250. That's all I'm thinking about is 250.
Oh yeah. Do you want to hear crazy? So I was just talking to Lauren as I was leaving, showering, I would have had the mustache, but I'm going to her family's Easter tomorrow, and there's no way I would not get just absolutely destroyed for having a mustache there. So I had to shave and I wasn't going old man beard
I mean,
tonight.
you could have shaved the mustache tomorrow.
Beforehand. You're right. It's a fair point. But it was all I was thinking.
Pat,
we were in the center.
Pat, you got to think about what's happening tonight. Do you really think Pierre's getting up tomorrow to shave that thing?
I mean, it doesn't. I don't feel it'll take that much. It's not like he's.
No, you're right. But I was
fair.
already in the. I was in the. We're in the vicinity of the shave. Might as well just finish the job.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was just there. I was there.
It was in the moment, Pat.
So Lauren's talking to her cousin Katie, who's doing a reading at our wedding in 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have some fun podcasts. I don't know when we're going to do that podcast. But
on the bus on the way down there.
Oh, that'd be sick. Get all the whole family in there. But so she was talking to her cousin Katie, and Lauren found out that her cousin Katie and our cousin Claire are neighbors. And mom had us invite Claire to the wedding. She's not going, but Claire and Katie talked about it. And she's like, "How do you know all this?" And then she told Katie that we're cousins. She hasn't seen me since I was 12. I'm like, if we've seen each other, like when I was 12 years old, if that's the last time. That's very much possible. But yeah, so they're very good friends. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's a small world. Yeah. I think the last time we saw her was like Megan's 30th.
You're right. I have no idea.
That's the only thing I can remember. I can't remember who the hell was there, but.
Yep. But isn't that great? Small world. So they're best friends. Here's the even kicker. She's married. I've never met her husband. I couldn't pick him or her out of a lineup.
Yeah, nope.
Guess where he was at this year?
Windy City Smokeout.
Nope. This year.
This year, Pat.
2025.
There hasn't been much going on.
He's at some EDM concert that you went to.
He was at skiing.
That's what I figured.
Supposedly, I met him with Nate. I couldn't tell you. No clue.
Nope. Would never have guessed.
I would have no idea. We wouldn't know each other for shit. So that's going to be an interesting... there's going to be a lot of questions tomorrow at the family Easter thing.
Oh, hot dog.
Nothing. Sounds like a wonderful conversation when you're hungover to have.
Yeah. I'm going to hopefully not be overly hungover. We're just going to... We'll have a good night. We don't have to get hammered to death.
We're getting Pierre blitzed.
No, if
Jaeger bombs.
We'll save it for next
Fucking
week.
showers and
I
that
also
shit.
got to fucking keep the weight. I'm an almost okay weight. It's so hard not to just
Vegas bomb.
bomb.
get a haircut. Pat, you get a haircut before next week?
Yeah, I'm getting one. I just actually just scheduled a second ago on Wednesday.
Wow.
Tuesday afternoon.
Oh yeah, Pierre's going Wednesday afternoon.
I'm gonna get I'll line up the beard and I'll get the haircut and then I'll just keep the line until next, like the week after.
Nice. I got to get that second one going, Chris.
Yeah, you haven't chosen a date.
I was debating whether
Wednesday.
I was gonna wait till I'll do it
Let's do
before
that Wednesday.
I'll do it before Florida and then I won't do anything obviously when I get
I want to
back.
get back up to
No worries.
get my phone.
So then last week, thank God the hangover gods gave me a little blessing because we went a little harder at Carol's than probably I wanted to, for sure.
That's fair.
Just because the old styles were flowing and I had a Jello
Joe
shot.
Keneally was hot.
Yeah, he's looking good. And but the music sucked again.
We're okay.
I thought the guy was pretty good.
It was
I mean,
okay.
it wasn't like anything. He got the people going. There was a lot of people
Yeah.
on that dance
He was
floor.
much better than the guy the time before
Yeah.
that.
You know what? That's fair. Maybe I was
He
just
was
thinking about
entertaining.
maybe I was thinking of the last time.
I won't say it was anything memorable, but I think he did an
Yeah, he
okay
was
job.
serviceable.
Yeah,
he was serviceable.
Did we
he
eat?
knew the secret third verse, Peter.
Yeah. Did we eat before that? I'm trying to think what we do.
No, we did not. We came literally here. We literally left the
we
boss's
podcast.
and we left from here. We did not
Yeah.
eat anything.
Didn't do shit, huh?
No, we
No.
Wow. Man, it's just thinking about last week
Gotta eat
and how
tonight,
miserable I was. Yeah,
you
definitely
gotta
gotta
get
eat
that
tonight.
eat.
We'll figure it out when we get to 5 Iron where we want to go eat after that. And then the other stuff. So the problem with having a tax season and just working your ass off is you're not really cued into anything.
Oh, hell no. You have no clue what the hell's going on.
No idea
anymore.
what's going on in the world. So I'm sitting picking Pat up at like 4 o'clock, just sitting out there running through the list of things that is going on. One thing that did catch my eye was that, and then tonight, it would be, of course, Easter has to be this weekend. So it might actually, the traffic going downtown in Chicago right now did not look miserable. So there's probably not a whole lot of people out.
I would imagine most people have left yesterday pretty much yesterday to do their Easter stuff. And if people are going out tonight, it's people that are just
atheists. People are going to hell.
Degenerates like us.
Yeah, degenerates like the goon squad here.
So we'll do a 5-iron. We'll get a little food. We'll get a little dance on. The ladies are going out. They're going to enjoy a drink or two.
I don't know where they're going. Katrina explained it to me 3 times, and I didn't.
They're going to some place called like a champagne pot. What's the story? Is Katrina want to go to Queen Mary, and you left it before she could go?
I mean, she asked where we were at, and at that moment we were at Queen Mary, and then I may have neglected to mention that we moved to Gold Star Lounge.
Jackass, what is wrong with you?
But her friend that she's with lives right by Queen Mary anyway, so she was going that direction anyways. And what's she gonna do? Move the car down farther? I don't think so.
Did she walk to Gold Star Lounge?
Yeah, her and her friend came and they walked over there, and then we walked them back, and we went.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
She making a big deal.
Was it busy last night in there?
We were going to go to Enjoy, and it was deader than dead. So we looked at it twice. We went by it twice, and we went back and neglected to go in both times.
Oh shit! How's Gold Star Lounge?
Gold Star Lounge had a good number of people in there. We had a couple beers.
Yeah, I heard that they have an outdoor patio.
They do have an outdoor patio. We go out there for a hot minute.
I don't think I've ever fucking known that before.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was trying to think of what bar. What was that bar we were at last year that had like the nice outdoor patio?
Oh, that's a great question.
I think it was in Wickers somewhere, wasn't it? Remember, it was almost like the fake grass and like the little camper thing back there.
Oh yeah, no, it was with Mike too, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was trying to think of what bar that was.
Fuck, you're right. Where was that at?
So I couldn't quite remember where that one was at.
No idea. I bet if we text Mike, he would be able to tell us.
Yeah, but then we got to talk to Mike. So we'll save that for another day.
Shit, you're right.
Trying to enjoy my Saturday night.
Was
here.
that before the second tax season? That was like one of the last.
Yeah, it was one. It was a summertime we went there.
It's a beautiful night too.
It looked like it looked it was like a fake sky because it was so like nice, and we thought it was like a painted ceiling for a second.
Yeah, it was so nice.
I forget where it was at though, but because like a small bar in the front, and then it was like a big patio in the back.
Dude, I'm already like dreading this start of this week. But then I keep thinking like, okay, it's only 3 days. You gotta work your ass off for 3 days.
Yeah, I gotta get some bank reporting on.
I gotta get some payroll reporting done.
Yeah, I gotta do that too. I gotta figure out time to come by Chris here and figure out how to use Drake's payroll.
Yes.
system.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into some topics. All right. Let's start with the one that I think is kind of I have a love-hate for this because I hate the tax exempt kind of situation. I'm not sure that schools and churches and all them should be tax exempt. But then it's also like, then you think about so Trump and Harvard are in a little bit of a tiff. I don't know who Trump's not in a tiff with these days. But Trump sent a pretty fucking gross letter to Harvard saying they wanted all this shit. They wanted like anybody who did protesting, they wanted the names of the students who did the protesting. And because they want to deport anybody who's who's on a visa, which is just, and Harvard's like, hey, go fuck yourself. And thank God somebody stepped up. There's only one big law firm who has stepped up and told Trump to go fuck himself, and Harvard's the only school so far to say step up. But they got $2.2 billion frozen of grants and funding. That's not great.
I mean, they have a bunch of endowment. They'll be okay. But
Trump has threatened now to take away their tax exempt status.
Can you do that?
There has only been one school that's ever, and it was from South Carolina, and they wouldn't allow students to mix race, marriage stuff. Like it turned out that this school was, pretty racist, and so they took it away from them. But there's a pretty big.
If the Church of Scientology gets a tax exempt status, it's hard to argue anybody else. It should be revoked.
Yeah. But so that they threatened Harvard with that, so it would be a very difficult uphill battle. And for me, I'm not a fan of tax exempt statuses. So it's like I could, I think
when you
all
see like
schools,
these mega churches, like the guys own planes, and like the one guy owns like the old arena for the Rockets down there is his church. Like, yet they're not paying any taxes on this.
Also, like, I don't think that the $52 billion that they have in an endowment should earn tax free. Like, I am okay if people want to donate and get a tax deduction for that, but that endowment of $52 billion, if you're making 5% on that, that's an insane amount of money we're not taxing. So I think, but this is not the way to go about it again. I think it needs to be an overall talk of all schools and all taxes and statuses. And we have a bigger, not this is a punishment for not listening to Trump. Like that's what
Yeah, it just
pisses
feels
me
like
off.
everything is a punishment these days.
Yes, it's like, do what I say or I'm going to fuck you up. And it's like, that's not how America works. We're not all going to get along. We need to work out and we need to work in a situation that works for everybody.
Nah.
I had a fucking hour-long text message conversation with a MAGA supporter about the individual who was detained and deported to El Salvador, and they're trying to get him back. And he is under the mind of like, hey, he's a criminal. He came here illegally. I don't care what happens to him. And in my head, it's like, I'm totally fine with deporting criminals, illegal criminals here, no doubt. But you have to go through the due process. And I just don't get people who just don't understand that.
Due process?
He should have went to the court. The court should have determined if
Peter,
he.
I know what due process is. I was saying, it's not really being used anymore.
That's not in their vocabulary, dude.
It isn't, and I don't like. But here, it's easy to say now. We're putting a label on a certain individual. We're putting that label on there. There's nothing for them not to expand that label and say, okay, now you're all in that label, and now you're like, whoa, wait, I liked it when it was this narrow. Now that it's fucking 2 miles long, and I'm in it, I don't want to be a part of that. The thing.
I want my due process.
The thing is, he wants to get rid of birthright citizenship, and it's like, what does that say to us? Like, I know that they would make things like a lot of countries don't have birthright citizenship, and there's things about it, but I don't. I mean, it's been run through the court systems, and I think pretty much everybody has agreed that you come to America and you're born in America, you have citizenship here, and I don't see why that would ever be, how that would ever be any different.
I mean, I know like a lot of like countries do like if you're born there, but you have to live there, like because it's like easy just to be like, oh, hey, you were born here and then you never live here again. Now you're a citizen of the U.S.
Yeah,
I mean, like if you
I get Irish, and I could get Irish citizenship because my mom was born there.
Yeah, see, that's kind of weird too. Like I don't know
what the best situation is that, but then it just puts a lot of people again.
And I've never set foot in that country.
Yeah.
no, I mean that's why I find it weird. That's kind of weird. Like why should
why do I get it?
Yeah.
And then this person who was born here, it's not like that individual who was born here because their parents came here. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, how's that any different than my parents were just happened to be here when I was born?
Yeah.
I remember when I was born, my mom was not a U.S. citizen at that point.
Yeah. So you could be in
deport
trouble.
your ass, baby.
You'd be on your way to El Salvador.
Forget this. Send his
She's
ass.
a U.S. citizen. I remember when I was a little kid and she got her citizenship.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good for
That's
her.
very cool.
You send your ass to fucking. Send your ass to Iceland or Greenland or something.
It'd be Ireland, dude. It'd be Ireland.
No, we're sending your ass somewhere else.
I'll be working. I'll be the accountant for Guinness.
Send you to the oil fields in Texas in the middle of the summer.
But they'll have to keep him in a water bubble. He'll freaking boil
to melt away.
Jesus Christ!
It's not good for. It's not a good complexion for this guy.
Guys, I can't take my shirt off if I do. I'll burn
I
instantly.
think I'd be better off working in the oil fields in Alaska.
That's fair.
I will. I wonder who's going to burn more, Pat or Brian next weekend.
No, I'm gonna put sunscreen on. I'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who.
Joe's gonna get the summer because he's not gonna put sunscreen on.
No, we're gonna be.
Joe's
We're
gonna
have to
put
be.
that.
We're gonna have to push these young men because Florida heat. Something.
Well, also, you don't want to be like like a lobster for your fixtures. Or
The one person you definitely need to get it on and make sure
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Oh my God, he's too stupid.
The kid is smart. He puts it on, but he never does another layer after that. He puts one.
Doesn't reapply.
Yeah, he makes it last the whole entire day.
I put some on 7. I put it on 3 days ago, guys. What do you mean? What do you mean? I gotta reapply.
You know what's crazy? We have friends who don't believe in sunscreen. But
Frank doesn't use any. I don't like. Very rarely.
Gavin and yeah. My only thought is I kind of get it a little bit. We're rubbing chemicals into our body, but also it really does protect you.
I've seen the alternative.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not rather the chemicals.
It's not gonna be good.
I want the chemicals.
I've burned the top of my head, man. I'd rather.
First time I went to Mexico, my back looked like I missed a square spot on the reapply, and it looked like a fucking lobster in the back there, and it was so painful.
When we went to Mexico when we were 18, I remember that one. And then Conrad's One time we were in Michigan, I was so burnt. I was so red and so burnt. It was
fun.
disgusting.
It's not
Yeah,
fun.
it hurts to move.
Hurts
It-
like a
yeah.
motherfucker.
Hurts when somebody touches it. Forget about it.
Forget about it. You think anyone would get touched from the sunburn?
I mean, if
Forget
I
about it.
survived Key West without getting sunburned, so hopefully I can do this one too.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll just stick Pat out there when he's sleeping one night. Get him nice and
Well,
roasted.
yeah,
toasted.
he falls asleep by the pool, wakes up the next morning nude. It's like, oh my God, I'm
Not a
burnt.
good look, guys.
We'll put like dick sunscreens on him.
You guys are,
Oh, that'd be so
I guess I
good.
can't sleep anywhere. Guess I can't sleep in the daytime now.
Guess I can't sleep during the daytime. I can't sleep at the nighttime. I don't know when I'm going to sleep.
Fuck.
Strap me in.
Trump. So you know, every year they do at the White House, they do an egg hunt.
The Easter egg hunt, yeah.
Easter egg hunt. This year,
He canceled it.
No, dipshit made it a corporate event. He sponsored it out. He wants everybody. He wants corporate sponsors, which is just a way for him to get money more in his pocket. He went
Okay.
and like Meta, Amazon, Tesla,
All these idiots.
all gave money to this corporate event.
Nice.
And it's like, and this is supposed to be one of those apolitical things. Like, hey, this is not about politics. It's about just the
About the rich kids of DC.
yes, getting them
Yeah.
some.
Do they get like free? Do they get like some nice stuff at least in these if they're sponsored a corporate event?
What if it's like that shit,
You get
like
the- you
milk
get-
chocolate?
What do you think? What do you think you'd get from Tesla?
Cybertruck.
Look, a big ass egg. I found it. It's a giant one over there.
It's a piece of shit thing over there that some 2-year-old
Amazon sends you a bunch of Kindles.
Yeah.
Little Alexas, they're overstocked Alexas.
You know, you get your telephone number sent to some scammer about an Amazon refund. That's what you get from Amazon.
No, you're right. Like, what kind of candy do you think they put in those things? It's got like, you gotta hope for
It's
like.
gotta be American made, baby.
You gotta hope for, like,
Hershey's,
some- yeah.
Pennsylvania, chocolate only.
I mean, where's Mars is made in Chicago
Yeah.
or in Illinois, or not Illinois, but in America too.
Is it?
It
Yeah.
used to be made in Oak Park,
I thought
Illinois.
they can't close that place up.
They did close that.
Ferrero Rocher.
That's in Chicago.
That sounds like it's
They got they make Butterfinger and Crunch.
okay. All right.
They have a Nestle spot off the top of the or off the
Oh, that's
294.
that's yeah.
I didn't get
Nestle.
it. So I was fucking talking to some connoisseurs of goddamn chocolate
Yeah.
making.
We know a lot about stuff, Pat.
Yeah, Pat,
Jesus.
don't be kidding
When
when
it
it
comes
comes
to, like,
for
yeah.
American made, baby.
When it comes to candy and chips, the
Sure.
McGraws know.
Chris McGraw's got encyclopedia knowledge of all the chocolate factories in the tri-state area.
Yeah, you know it.
I just can't imagine that. Like this, there's nothing that he won't do. Like he is really trying to fuck shit up so goddamn bad, and just make
Who would have
everything.
thought his first term was just kind of tame, huh?
I think he's going for broke on this
Yeah,
one.
he's got to go
He's
for
gonna
it.
run for his third term anyways. Don't worry about it.
That's what's his face
Third
wants.
term, fourth term. I guess the question is, will he die before he gets to the third term?
No.
He's kind of old.
God,
Don't look
what-
like he's in the best shape. He's got a weird orange glow these days, more than usual.
you ever hear like I don't know if you hear him more recently. He's got a lisp too. Like he's got like he seems like he's taking a couple strokes that they don't want to tell us about. Like listen to him talk. He's like he's got like I don't know what it is. Listen to him. It's,
I can't listen to him talk for more than like 3 seconds. It's not going to happen.
when he does a rally, he's got it. He's got the power. But when he does like an interview with a reporter,
rambles like off the.
Yeah.
He does not read the teleprompter clearly.
well, I gotta I feel
He's
bad.
not Ron Burgundy here. He's not reading the teleprompter.
No, he's definitely not reading the teleprompter. Nope. I don't know. When are the midterms again? How much more?
Well, you got another year.
Next year.
Fuck almighty. We're
Next
so
November.
sure.
It's another year plus.
And then the sad one that you don't. I bet you guys didn't hear anything about this really. The FSU shooting.
I heard about it.
I heard a little bit about it. They canceled all the games or whatnot, but that's all. The only reason why I knew that is because of,
Maybe and I
Got
see
his
that.
stepmom's gun, I believe.
I know I think his father, who's a.
His stepmom is the cop. I thought it was.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was his father who was a cop. Somebody in their family is a 20-year deputy sheriff, and he got the guns. Like, and it had the ability to get the gun from.
It's like a handgun, not a.
Yeah.
Rifle.
And but I feel maybe you know what, because you know what, I see this and I think, oh, I haven't heard it, so no one else has heard it, and I just didn't. I guess I don't, because I don't watch a lot of news, so maybe it was a bigger story. It just
I
felt
think you'd get kind of numb to it now. Really,
that's what I was thinking. Like it was,
kind of coverage.
it doesn't. People don't like, so the news don't cover
A
it.
few people died. No big deal.
Doesn't it? That's what I was thinking. Like, doesn't it kind of how that feels? Like, it's not. It doesn't. It's not as newsworthy or not
Did you guys hear
newsworthy,
about
but
the dispensary over here?
no.
the what over here, right by the building we looked at.
Correct.
They have. I didn't hear anything about it, but I ran past it. and I meant to mention it too. Big ass wood board about in front of the window. So I'm assuming somebody broke into it.
Robbed and they burned it.
Oh wow!
The one that's
the dispensary right over here by the
Milwaukee?
2 buildings down. Yeah. Last night I think.
From the one we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was. It wasn't last night. It was like a couple because I ran there. I ran yesterday morning, Friday morning, and it was all boarded up. Like the front window was boarded up. I didn't realize that they got broken. I figured they got broken into.
Somebody set it on fire.
Just like I said. So I think the article I saw had it.
Oh shit! Maybe insurance.
Inside job.
Well, yeah. Why would these guys are not going to take the time to set it on fire?
Maybe they didn't like the product.
Do you think they got? Because I got to.
Maybe they were trying to get high.
That's a good call. But I got to imagine their product's not out there.
I mean, it's the product's in the building, right?
It's got yeah. You got to have some product in the building.
Yeah, but I got to imagine it's all like super safe to locked away.
Well, you would imagine, but
because they have like an insane amount of like security at that place at all times.
Not that night, evidently.
How much did they get? Do they know what they got? How much they got robbed for?
I did not get all the details. I didn't realize
because
people were always going to be Pat Lynch in here.
Well, that's a crazy story for somebody to break in and then burn the place.
Yeah, if you just said it was broken into, okay, but to burn it, yeah, that's a little step further.
Go back to me, boys. Go back to me.
Okay,
but that's also the same thing on Ogden. 20 stores were burglarized in Downers Grove.
It wasn't just Ogden. It was over by on the other over on Butterfield too, over by like where. God, what the hell is that? Honey Jam and all those. They brought some places over there too. Yeah, they were on there. They went up or Butterfield around Findlay and then back down Ogden, or something like that. Or they went down Ogden up.
You got to wonder what can you do to stop that. Like, there's not because you would imagine that they would be able to. There would be cops everywhere at like the first burglary.
I mean, you would think. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're imagining if the alarm goes off. You're going to send whoever's on patrol out to that spot.
Also, the police station is, like 3 blocks from there?
It kills me that Milwaukee, that gets hit. They're that brazen. They're blocks away from a police station, and they don't give 2 fucks about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think you just got to make those, once you find these guys, you got to make them, that punishment, like, you're going to jail for 20 years.
Well, you got to lower what they need to do, what they were saying is you need to lower the theft thing because everything's like a misdemeanor if it's under like $1,000.
Yeah, that would be the first. And then Ralph, because I love people who lived in Chicago that move out of Chicago and they want to give you all the bad details of like what's going on in the city. But this mayor, he kicked out a thriving restaurant in Michigan Avenue for like some mystery restaurant he's going to bring in there. And it's like this mayor just needs like, for the love of God, how many more years we got with him?
Next year, I think.
I think 2. I think they're like 2. I think he's halfway through it.
Yeah, it's something like 28 or something like that.
Oh,
but no, 27, maybe. Yeah, 27.
So then he's got to start campaigning next year, so the shit will be done at least, because he's not going to do anything during the campaign year. Oh God, we need him.
Why is he getting rid of what? How is he allowed to do that?
And it's like a desert down in Chicago, downtown Chicago right now. And he's this dickhead. They need somebody who's going to come in and just revamp and say, hey, we're lowering taxes. And if you own a building on Michigan Avenue and if it's vacant, you're not getting any type of breaks. These need to be filled. Figure out how to make it work.
You'll
get a credit towards your property taxes if you have businesses in there. Not if you don't have businesses in there. And businesses that are thriving.
Yeah, you want to charge $8,000 for rent, but nobody wants to pay it because it's too goddamn much, and you get a credit. No.
Yeah, it's out of this world, and yeah, it kills me. You got all these places. The other thing is we need family homes. Like I don't get all these apartment complexes going up. Why are there no family homes anymore?
Well, a lot of them are. They have a certain amount of low income, that's how they get them in there.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
And it's because you got all these.
But also when they do low income, generally speaking, the neighborhoods don't like that.
Yeah, they booted him out.
They get real pissy when they do that.
Yeah, they protest.
Yeah.
Like Pat, when Jim Gardner was at the Copernicus Center and he was.
That was a wild event. Let me tell you what.
Yeah, you were just sitting in there.
I went when they did the aldermen, when they were like all the aldermen were running, and they had like a little like debate going on with them, and then they had like. It was Gardner and whatever the 4 other people that were running against him were, and like Gardner clearly had like plants in the crowd, like these guys were because they were all probably workers from the 6 corners that were working on the 6 corners at the time. Okay. Every time he said something, they'd be like, "Whoa!" You know, I'm like,
they had the rally towels going.
Like, rally towel. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
What in the sweet Jesus?
It was wild. It was pretty wild to see, honestly. One candidate was basically just there to like get on a soapbox about like some person that had been recently shot by the police, and she's like, I will not do anything with the cops. I want this investigated, and that's my whole thing. Is she wanted like to basically end the police department as we know it.
Yeah, that's smart.
She didn't. I don't think she got a lot of votes.
There are a lot of Republican like senators and representatives who are doing like town meetings.
Town hall meetings, yeah.
Oh my God, dude! These people are coming out and just ripping these guys. There's like a guy who, first of all, he shouldn't be a fucking whatever he is a part of in politics anymore. He's older than dirt. This dude barely could stand up, and they're just ripping into him. And he's like, I've not liked every president and everything that he does. And the guy's like, how does this make any sense? What is Trump doing that makes any sense to you, jackass? And the dude, the old man, he's so shell-shocked. He's probably never had any issues. Yeah, he's like, what?
He's like, there's like 6 people that come to these things.
Yeah.
He's like, well, this is going to be a tight 20. All right.
Oh, my God. The Marjorie Taylor Greene, that crackhead, she had one, and people were getting tased left and right.
Tased?
Yeah, because they were trying to get, like, they're screaming at her, fuck you. Ah! And the cops are they're taking this guy out, and this guy's going, and they're tasing the dude.
Oh, my God.
She's like, this is how this should have been handled. And I'm like, how does this make any sense?
Yeah, what kind of civil discourse do we have?
Oh, my God, it's insane.
Jesus.
It's gonna be interesting to see, like, because like in a couple of years or another year from this, like depending how the economy and stuff kind of shakes out here with all the tariffs and stuff, it'll be interesting to see because people are gonna be hurt. People are hurting already.
Oh my God, Joe's poor. Listen, I'm not gonna go into too much on that, but yeah, we know people who are hurting, and it could be potentially. I mean, Lauren, her company lost $1.5 million in grants, and all they're not like they don't do any type of like political stuff. They're not for profit. And they're helping communities, small businesses and communities grow in unwealthy areas. They provide loans for small businesses to try to do something, to try to build up these communities. And the government is nice enough to give
fuck those communities right now is what I'm saying.
That's what the government's like, hey, we don't give a shit about
no more DEI for you.
Yeah. So no, we do, and you're right, Pat. They're talking already about Christmas because this is the time that things have to come in for Christmas 2025, and if those tariffs are going through currently, so they're paying for that now. So and when Christmas comes, we're paying no tariffs on that stuff. Good luck, gentlemen. It's nothing's cheap.
I hope you enjoy a case of Coors Light for Christmas because that's all you guys are getting.
Oh yeah.
From Colorado, baby.
Chris and I, but then again, this is...
I'm going to drive straight to Colorado to get it.
Everything is so goddamn expensive. I thought, after Wednesday, we went and worked out. Before the Bulls game, I was like, I'll treat these guys to it. And we've not gone into a sandwich shop and ordered. It's always we buy off so I'm like, let's go in there. $50 for 3 sandwiches and 3 chips, Pat.
From Jimmy John's? Or from Jersey Mike's?
Fucking St. Jimmy John's. Right by
outside the gym there. That new one that you're so excited about.
I mean, when you walk in the store, you look at the prices, you're like, damn.
This is meat and cheese and bread.
And you go to the store and buy
Oh yeah,
get better value there. But yeah, no, it's wild. The things the increases have cost. You're like, this used to cost me like half this.
And there's so much greedflation. That's what I talk about. Me and Brian brought up a great point. He's like, they did this during COVID. They're doing it out there in tariffs. COVID's prices never went back. No matter what happens,
the prices are never
going to go back.
Yeah.
Dude, we make more. One of us makes more than both our parents in combined income in the 90s. And we are so much worse off than they were.
Yeah, I make more than both my parents ever made combined, and for sure.
Oh yeah, no, my mom's did pretty well, but I'm sure we're close to making more than my mom and dad combined in the 90s for 1,000%. And they were able to support 4 fucking kids, own a home, never go for they didn't have the nicest shit. We never had anything that was nice. We never went out for dinner, meals and stuff. But when they ask you, why don't you have kids?
It was a special occasion in the McGraw house when they got that crave case coming through.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or you go to Red Lobster every once in a while.
Like once every 6 months.
You get
McDonald's.
You guys get 1 biscuit each. All right, no more.
McDonald's was an absolute treat. It was never a guarantee. You had to be like, it was a birthday. And you got like pizza was like the birthday special.
Yeah, pizza was the big.
Again, we sound so old and whiny.
Also, the pizzas were like, a large pizza was like $15.
Yeah, dude. And there was a buy one, get one always.
Oh, God. Love the pizza deals, man. The buy one, get one large from Vince's. We need a recession like deal like that again. Yo, Joe's on Higgins. That's what you need to do. Buy one, get one pizza.
It's wild. I mean, even the price of pizza is like, like a medium is like $20 minimum.
$125 for 3 pizzas for my family. With when we did, I already came over on the Sunday night.
Oh God, 3 pizzas. That's what. Oh my, I had to kill.
It's wild. It's crazy.
And we picked up. No delivery. No none of that. It cost me $125.
It's wild to buy like dinner for like when you're at the office.
Oh, and why don't you want to have kids, Peter? Oh, I don't know. Because I want to be able to do anything I want in my life ever.
Yeah, I want to be able to afford something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, because forget it. I'm going to be eating their scraps because I'm not going to be able to afford to have a kid.
Peter's like, it's not ready for me.
Yeah, seriously, dude. We did 160 more tax returns this year, Pat, than we did before, and we're still probably not going to make any money this year.
Oh God, no. That was a lot.
Okay, sorry, Mike. I got a little hot there. A little hot.
That feels like we should work on that part of it. That doesn't sound like a good plan.
No,
it's a solid game plan, Pat. I don't know what game plan you're part of here.
Not a good business plan there.
What did what did you find out on the old?
Definitely need to get set on fire.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, did they? How much did they get away with stuff or no?
There's not a lot of articles on that. Just like the people like showing like the thing on fire, basically burned out.
Wow. That's insane. I wonder why. It's got to be something that was more than deliberate because that's like there's evil to that. Like these guys are just trying to get money.
Disgruntled employee.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Well, glad we didn't buy that building right next to it, huh?
Well, maybe the price will go down.
Well, I mean, I ran past. They had a sign in there for something. I don't know what the hell it was like. It was just like a little sign on the door. I didn't really.
Okay.
But because it looked like it was old and maybe it was on the door before,
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea what the hell this is. I don't care.
All right. Well, and you know what I think I need?
Some feel-good stories.
Some feel-good goddamn stories, man. Life is.
Life has
did you
been
guys?
brutal.
Was there any point today? Since we're tax preparers, the last month has been miserable. Was there any point today that you were like didn't know what to do with yourself? Like you almost didn't feel like you were doing enough.
Well, there was a point where I woke up at like 7:38, and I used the washroom. I'm like, what do I do now? And I'm like, I'm just gonna go lay back down in bed and fall asleep. And that's what I did.
That's nice.
But I mean, outside of that, yeah, like I think when you said that you're like asking, like when you texted me at 10:30 asking how I was doing, and then you're like, I'm gonna go for a run. I'm like, I got nothing. Like at that point, if I didn't go with you, I probably would have been like, what the hell do I do for the next 3 hours until podcast time?
Yeah, no, I mean, I had some stuff going on, so I was running errands and stuff, so I didn't really feel like I was kind of moving from one thing to the next today. But yeah, tomorrow I'll probably be like, when I'm sitting on the couch, if I'm not massively hungover, it'll be like, what do I do with myself today?
There's a little bit of me like, it's bad because I always feel like I could be doing more, and I got to get through that situation where I don't need to feel like I'm always doing something.
I mean, there's like a bunch of shit around my house I could be doing. Like there's a bunch of projects I want
Oh
to do,
yeah,
but I'm just not.
Yeah,
really,
me too.
Just not really feeling like getting to them at this point.
That's why I kind of did the bookshelf. Like I was like, I'll make myself feel like I did something.
And there's like stuff I want to paint, like touch up paint. I want to do some stuff in the basement, get that fixed a little bit, and I'm like, nah.
Nah.
Nap sounds great. Okay, let's get into
I could also nap.
some feel good stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Group celebrates 20
Feels
years
good.
of sterling surplus office furniture away. Oh, steering surplus office furniture away from landfills and into communities. That's kind of nice. So 20 years of moving all this.
So like pretty much just like taking office furniture and making it reusable. Like
Exactly.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Oh, extraordinary reuse of Vatican Church transforming into a public swimming pool in the Netherlands. And it looks, this is a fucking gorgeous pool. That's pretty cool.
Probably like 8 blocks long too.
It's a fucking brilliant. You know, I'll just get into it as well. This is the great point of the net feel good stories is talking about like
Just bringing them down to be not such feel
no.
stories.
I was just thinking like, this is a little whiny, but when we went to the Cubs game, we walked past this school, and the architecture on the school, like it had Coliseum columns, like stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
beautiful,
that's cool.
beautiful. And I think about like, do you think that we'll ever see? Like, I've never seen anything built that beautiful. Like those pillars are just ginormous. I just don't know that we'll ever see anything. Like, why would anybody ever do that again? Like, we're gonna lose like this. I mean,
They will not.
They won't because you just lose money.
It costs too much.
in that beautiful
It's
church.
like all the old theaters that you go to, like all the ornate stuff in the Chicago Theater and even the Aragon and all those ballrooms, they have those like really ornate ceilings. And
those like the even though the patio is like is not as what it was in the Pickwick. Those are just beautiful like Portage Park.
Yeah, like
beautiful
when
theaters.
you go into like the different neighborhoods and you go you stop on the corners, you see those buildings on the corners. They have like Portage Park Bank on it. That have like the really. Yeah, like no, you're never.
That's
gonna
why.
see
That's what the Uptown
things,
Theater's been like. They've been trying to remodel it for like 30
Portage
years.
Park too. Portage Park they just lost the original. The guy who had it just gave it up.
Yeah, they've been trying to revamp the Congress Theater for 80 years.
That too. That's another one.
So you can stop peeing on people from the men's washroom onto people on the dance floor.
Think about that though. Like, and then Lauren and I went in Park Ridge. We're going, and then you know those beautiful, old school, like probably used to be old courthouses or whatever they were. Now they're office buildings on where JD Cad's, the street that Cad's was on. Like that would be a cool office space, but like we'll never see anything like I'll never see something like that be built. Is what I'm saying.
No, you will not because it's impractical in this day and age.
Yeah,
everything is
plus the tariffs.
Everything is just generic brick and or it's just siding.
Yeah,
or it's crappy sheetrock.
Even brand new houses, like you see that and you're like, man, I want a new house, but then I'm like, it's never gonna be built like my parents' home. My parents' home could go through like a tornado. Like legit, never gonna fall down. Pat's house, never gonna fall down.
No, hopefully not.
All right.
But he did flood his neighbors.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cancer-fighting implant developed to treat tumors by safely triggering potent immune responses. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is.
Shout out to Mr. Davis who had his cancer screening, his 1-year cancer screening, no issues at all.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that's sick. That's unbelievable.
Also, very good timing to get that good news.
Amazing timing to get that good news.
Absolutely.
That would not have been. Yeah, somebody's already.
Peter would have been like the next day. Peter would have been out there and sat him down and been like, "You couldn't have done this like 2 weeks, like a week after." Like,
hey, dickhead, you couldn't have helped me out here.
Yeah. You had to do it. You had to do it 2 weeks before, huh?
And my life kind of sucks right now. You just couldn't help me out here. All right, the world's tallest bridge will open in China this summer to slash Grand Canyon crossing to just 2 minutes. Wow, that's kind of crazy. You know, it's also a little scary. You know, all the U.S. aid funding that we gave up. You know, who's coming in and taking that over?
China.
Yep, they're taking a lot of that over. Not good.
They're taking all of it, Pat.
And I get it. We don't want to be doing a lot. Like there's rights and wrongs to it, but there was a lot of U.S. influence when you're doing good things in the world, and when you don't do that, you know. Brothers saved their home from massive flood with homemade levee. Dad who taught them would have liked that. So this is insane. I don't know if you guys seen this picture.
No.
But there is a. I'm hoping it's.
This is what Pat did to his neighbors.
I don't know what you're talking about. Again.
Go look this up. There's a picture.
Pure speculation.
I might be able because I have more time now. I could do the podcast. I'll take a picture of it. But there was a lot of flooding in.
Is this in Kentucky?
I think so.
Okay.
And there's a home.
Send these kids over to the Buffalo Trace Distillery, would you?
There's a home. Everything is flooded, and then there's this one home, like a square block.
It's like the circle and nothing around it,
and it's fine. It's
wow.
It's like land. Like you wouldn't even know if you had not been if it wasn't a helicopter taking a picture, because from where they're at, and it's a homemade levee that they built. They built and has saved this. It's insane. I'll try to post a picture right here. It is the craziest thing.
That's kind of awesome too that they were able to build something like that.
I don't know why aren't we talking to these guys to help out? Like with some government efficiency.
Nah, Peter, nah, you're ignorant.
Colossal squid filmed in deep sea natural habitat for the first time. It's a baby one, so it's not that huge. But if you saw,
that's still kind of a
bro. If you seen this thing in the dark, if you were swimming in the ocean and you saw this motherfucker, you'd be like,
nope.
Fuck. I'm done.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be a really miserable death. Pat, you seem like you had a comment.
No.
Go ahead. Come on, say it. Man cultivates giant mango tree with each branch growing a different variety of fruit, and there are 300. That is insane.
That's interesting.
From India comes the story of a remarkable man and even more remarkable tree, capable of producing more than 300 different varieties of mango.
Wow.
I didn't know there was all these different. I was in the store last week and there was like these mangoes that were like, but they're like a different type of mango.
Nope, would never.
It's kind of what they do with like in Italy with the lemon groves. They'll take one tree that's growing well and they can build new trees out of it.
That's pretty cool.
They grow them on there. It's kind of cool. They do they kind of fuse them together and sap and they kind of grow together over years. It's really interesting.
That is kind of interesting, actually.
This is
good for 1 year,
insane.
Chris. Good for 1 year.
Missing toddler who walked 7 miles alone through wilderness led to safety by rancher's dog.
I said missing,
dog.
sorry, I missed
I'm
the
sorry.
beginning of it.
Missing toddler
Toddler, okay.
walked 7 miles alone through the wilderness, led to safety by rancher's dog.
Wow.
This dog would not leave its side.
That's crazy. Yeah, if it was a cat, he'd be dead.
Very
Yeah,
true.
fucking cat.
Very true.
Cats give no fucks.
Here's the crazy. I saw the ending of. Oh, I was so pissed. I saw the ending of Alone, season 10, and the guy I wanted, who was killing it, doing great.
You saw the ending without the rest of it, or you?
No, I watched the whole season.
Okay, got it.
And the guy I wanted to win, and that guy who won, I thought was depleted. He was on his way out. He didn't have much time, but the other guy was totally fine until one really bad cold night, and he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this anymore." And I was like, "Motherfucker, you're so close! I want you to win!" And he lost. I was so pissed.
The other guy had the TW, Pat.
Yep.
The TWTW, the will to win.
I was so mad.
I thought about. I've seen those shows, and I think that I would last like maybe a night.
I think I could survive as long as my had food reserved. So it'd be probably like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, I think I probably last as long as like the food, like until I get hungry and I can't.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I
don't have enough skills to do anything.
would
like that.
imagine you'd be able to last as long if you could make a fire. If you get that fire that first night, you're good.
I think I could build a fire. I could build a shelter. I have no other survival skills of any kind, so I'd be totally screwed. No food. I'm not getting any food. I have to be like that one guy who got really fat and then just wasted away.
That's it. That's the one. Like the one. There was 3 guys left. The one was a fatter individual. I don't know why he never fished, but I think he might have just he was in a bad spot. Like a lot of the luck is your choice where you're landed and how good your fishing is. Because there's no reason that this guy. There was the last 4 was a woman, this fatter gentleman, and the 2 guys. The woman, she couldn't stand being away from her significant other, and she had a hard time fishing. But she was in I thought she was in an okay spot for fishing. She wasn't. She quit. The bigger guy was about to get medically cued, but he decided to quit. Like he just couldn't handle it anymore. The cold got to him too. But he also hadn't eaten in a while because he wasn't fishing and he was hunting, and the hunting there was no game. The other 2 guys just were catching. Like the one guy still had. I think the guy who quit still had like 7 days worth of fish left.
Good God! Wow.
I'm like, you jackass.
See, that's another thing. Like that some of these guys probably have the skill, but I wouldn't have it. Is where they get like big game or they get like a big fish, and they take what they need for the night and eat it, and then they smoke the rest of it on those flames and make it into jerky. And
Well, the one guy did. He caught a deer, and that's what he did. He smoked.
Yeah.
He smoked it.
Caught a moose too. One guy caught a moose and he smoked.
And that like takes like you got to have some great skills and knowing exactly what to do with it because
I'd be dead.
yeah.
No,
I'd be like 3 days and be like tap out. And then
Get me out of here.
you know what's crazy is
And
you
bring a
don't,
cheeseburger with you.
yeah,
things you didn't
give
know.
me Nug Nation.
Like you need to know. Like, did you need to get like certain vitamins in, like salt and like other vitamins, and then you need fat. If you don't have fat, even if you're eating a shit ton of protein.
Yeah, like if you get rabbits, like it's not good for you because you can get rabbit rabbit sickness or poisoning because it's such a lean meat. You need the fat from it. So you need
Stuff we would never fucking survive. Nope. And it's a toddler walks 7 miles with his dog.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, just some people are just.
I'd have walked my ass out. I would have been landed there, and I would have walked my ass out somehow.
It's crazy.
The craziest part of that is it was so cold that the lake had frozen. So that when the guy won, his wife had to be helicoptered in to come in and congratulate him. Like usually they come in the boats, but it was too
too iced over.
No alcohol,
How
no
much they want for
cover.
that again?
$500,000. I would give it a shot
wow.
for $500,000.
Yeah, that's a
that's
pretty
good.
prize package.
I just don't think I'd last long enough to win.
No alcohol, no cover, no judging inside Mexico City's free dance parties.
Free dance parties, so no
alcohol.
alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know
Must
about
not
that.
be some lame dancing.
Teen developed app that identifies mouth cancer, making early diagnosis easy and winning $50,000 for their school.
Nice.
That's insane if that works.
I mean, when I go to the dentist, they do like a little scan in your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
He's got something that he's got an app that does it too.
That is interesting. Especially if it does work, like Pierre says, that's kind of cool.
Let's see here. Kindness activists are adding benches to city bus stops after man with cane has to sit on a curb. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, can we not? Like, why can't the city? Like, isn't that should be something you like? I'm okay paying for a fucking bench, so people who unfortunately have to take the bus can sit.
In Chicago, like they put all those things up for people to sit in buses, and then the homeless people just moved into them afterwards.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's why they had to get rid of them all.
Yeah, yep.
They got rid of all the tents on the Foster side on that one park over there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they put them, but
let's see here. Fish oil supplements shown to be more effective than fish for getting optimal omega-3 intake. Oh, so eating fish is not. It's easier. It's better. You know what's crazy? You hear all this bullshit back and forth on vitamins. I used to take a fish oil, and then I was told like you don't really need the fish oil, and then so now like, am I supposed to have the fish oil? I'm not supposed to have the fish oil.
Oh, that's a great question.
I like the burpless ones because you taste it.
Oh, you got to get the burpless ones. Oh my god, that was the worst thing. I used to get whatever you just didn't know that, and then you started. You're like, oh my land.
What is this nasty ass taste?
I don't think vitamins can hurt you because like if anything that doesn't go your body just flush out, right? I don't think it hurts you by any means.
All right, let's get you one more here because give me a little time skiing here. I got one more. I thought
50 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. 80. So we talked about this. 81-year-old waitress because the Good News Network is always a little it's a little behind Peter McGraw. He's always we're trendsetters, baby. 81-year-old waitress couldn't retire, so a stranger raised over $300,000 in a GoFundMe to give her the ability to retire. 81 fucking years old.
I mean,
and have the ability to retire. That's wild.
You see that at places like a lot of people, like older people working because like they've lost money in the market or they never had.
Yeah.
Or
but then I think about
cost of living so fucking expensive.
Social
Security doesn't go far enough.
Oh my god, not neat at all. And they want to cut it more. It's like you guys are such fucking assholes. Like these people were not. They were guaranteed something. Like now you could tell kids. This is the thing. Like, do you want to tell people now? Hey, if you want to tell people now, like, hey, there's not going to be Social Security Medicare, you need to do it on your own. That's fine. These people from the 40s, 50s, and 60s who were guaranteed.
Yeah, this is.
Sorry, you have to fucking fulfill your rights. Their rights. Like that's it. Raise the Social Security cap. All that shit. Whatever it has to do to make sure these people live with fucking dignity.
Stop capping out Social Security. Everybody's got to pay it all the way up. Who gives a shit?
It's just like you guys are so fucking rich. You have no idea what it like.
Yeah.
Live a year on $100,000 salary. Just give yourself that ability. Go live in an apartment that costs you way too much. Try to have a decent life. It's insane. People are crazy. Always got to get that feel good. But it was nice that people came together and raised $300,000, so this woman could get off her feet. Especially, nice, can you be a waitress? Imagine being a waitress at 81.
I couldn't.
She's her trying to carry. There's no way she's carrying any of those trays out there.
She got to pay taxes on that.
What, on the $300,000? No, I would assume that'd just be a gift.
Because you don't get a tax deduction, so it's all gifts.
Yeah, it'd just be a gift.
Nice.
Yeah, and on that beautiful note, ladies and gentlemen, go enjoy Easter tomorrow. Enjoy it with your family. Do us a favor, hit that like, subscribe, hit that comment button. What do we have? 237. We're getting close to 250, ladies and gentlemen. We are excited. Next week will be probably a Wednesday podcast. A whole different set of crew members. And then the week after that, who knows?
Yeah.
We got the next 2 weeks. Going to be a lot of fun, boys. So I'm excited. Again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Happy birthday to Joe again and to Frank Prill. Bye.
Ooh.